Hello and happy ThreadTalk Tuesday. I'm your host, Teresa.
And you guys already know who I am. I'm Denver.
We like to introduce ourselves sometimes. And this is Jack, if you're watching on YouTube.
We have Jack.
See how long he lasts.
I give him 5 minutes.
I give him less. Today, we are talking about, well, the theme is, aren't you embarrassed?
Sometimes you just look at people after they do things and you're just like, aren't you embarrassed in yourself?
I say that all the time in my daily life. I'm like, I see like a secondhand embarrassed, or I feel secondhand embarrassed by something someone else does. And I'm like, aren't you embarrassed? Like, so these stories are pretty cringy, I would say. Mm-hmm. They might make you feel some secondhand embarrassment.
Exactly.
So buckle up.
Get ready.
Get ready for these embarrassing stories.
Let the show begin.
And maybe we'll share some embarrassing stories if we think of any.
You know, I'm going to have a few.
Okay, perfect.
No, I don't know. I have to think of something. Okay. I don't know. I don't have anything. I have nothing planned. Just like to say that. Nothing planned. See what comes to the top of my head. I mean, the only thing I can think of is that one time that Teresa said to the girl, like, oh, I love your shirt. And then she was just like, ignored Teresa and kept on walking.
Yep. Sorry, I'm looking at your story because I thought it was the same as mine, but it's not.
Oh, okay. Good.
I got scared there.
We're good?
Yes.
All right. Let's just get into the stories, and then we'll give you guys a little bit of a life update. Teresa took out an old lady, but we'll get into that at the end of the episode.
Stop. That was kind of embarrassing, I guess.
For her. I don't know. All right. Should I go first?
Sure.
All right. This one's coming from Aitah. Am I the asshole for flipping out on my mother-in-law and husband for eating all the food before I had eaten? Ever since I gave birth 4 months ago, I now have 4 kids total. My mother-in-law has been showing up whenever she wants, and when she's here, she's always helped herself to whatever she wants. She has never offered to help me or the baby in any way, shape, or form. She's basically here to see her son, and that's it. So, about 3 weeks ago, I made a small pot of coffee, just enough for 2 cups. I went to go nurse the baby while waiting, and at some point, my mother-in-law shows up, lets herself in. When I came out, she had drank the entire pot of coffee. I had no more coffee grounds left. She has also eaten the leftovers straight out of the fridge multiple times. Oh, bye, Jack.
Bye, Jack.
Was that 5 minutes?
No.
Ugh. And he's gone. All right, back to the story. And then she'll always be like, thanks for the food or coffee, as if I ordered it for her, when I absolutely didn't, because all she's doing is making my life miserable. I told my husband to speak to her about it, and he told me he did, but I truly don't think he did. I spoke up the last time she was here, about 3 weeks ago, and I told her she needed to stop helping herself because she's eating and drinking stuff that I wanted to and or have made for myself. She said, oh, I'm sorry, and then stopped coming around for a while. Well, today I made 4 homemade pizzas. I told the kids to come help themselves at dinner and that I had to go put the baby down for a nap real quick and I would be right back. Well, it took me about 45 minutes because the baby was being fussy. I came back out and all of the pizza was gone and my mother-in-law and husband are sitting there chowing away. Oh. I broke and said, are you fucking kidding me right now? My husband asked what was going on and I said, you guys couldn't have even left me a fucking slice? Sure, let's feed the fucking neighborhood before I even get to eat. That's so awesome of you guys. Thanks. And I just walked off. My eldest son, who's 13, comes in and he's like, Mom, I left you out a plate. I put it right on the counter, and walks over to grab it, and lo and behold, that's gone too.
Oh.
Mother-in-law said, I thought it was leftovers from dinner. So my son's apologized to me, even though he did nothing wrong, but my mother-in-law and husband just stand there? They literally aren't saying anything. So I looked at both of them and said, you both need to leave now. My husband then decides to speak, saying that it was an honest mistake and that no one meant any harm, and said I was making a mound out of a molehill, which honestly just pissed me off further. So I snapped again, yeah, except every time your fucking mother comes here, I end up going without because she'll eat or drink my portion of everything. But sure, let's defend someone who's taking food out of my mouth, shall we? His mother just stormed out of the house, and my husband looked at me like I'm insane. So I say, quick, chase her. And then I walk out of the room. My husband thinks that, quote, I'm fucking mental, but that all this could have been resolved if I had acted like an adult. He won't come home. At this point, I don't even want him to come home because that means his mother will come too.
Oh my God, nothing pisses me off more than not being around food conscious people, like people that are self-aware that other people haven't eaten. Like, when it's just like the polite thing to do. Usually when you're sharing plates or something and there's like the last piece left, no one wants to take it. Right?
I always want to take it.
No one takes it.
Yeah, no one takes it. I don't
wants
take it.
To.
I don't take it. Yeah.
No one takes it because it's like, well, what if someone else wants it?
Yep.
And if you go for it, like, you always ask, like,
yeah.
Hey, does anybody want it? Like, if no one's going to eat it, like, I might as well eat it. Like, like you ask.
Yep.
This, like, entire meals, how is this happening all the time to her?
Yeah, once or twice is okay, things happen, accidents happen. Well, but this is a consistent issue.
And the husband, did he not see her preparing these 4 homemade pizzas? He knew it wasn't from the night before leftovers.
Like, when he came to eat the pizzas and he saw that none of the slices were taken, means she hasn't ate yet?
Exactly.
Why are you not waiting for her anyway?
If she wasn't in the room the entire time you were eating, did you think she ate already? You think she ate a salad while she made 4 homemade pizzas? Like, no, this is infuriating. I wouldn't be able to deal with this, honestly. Like,
don't take Teresa's food out of her mouth.
No, and I would have had the exact same reaction as her. I think it's like, yeah, okay, she might seem like a little bit crazy, but like you made her. Like, you made her that way.
Yeah,
and I don't think she's crazy.
Keeps doing everything, keeps taking the coffee. Listen, if I made coffee for me and you take my coffee, not that I like coffee, I'm going to be upset.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't understand the coffee thing because I don't drink coffee. But I understand people need it to, like...
Well, imagine you had one tea bag left. And
I don't need tea.
No, but you like to have a tea every day around 10. Yeah. And there's one tea bag left. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to have a tea today. And I take your tea bag, even though I know it's the last one left. And then I know you like to have a tea every day.
Yeah.
Rude.
Yeah, it is. No, that's exactly what it is. It's plain out rude. And yeah, I would, like, as the mother-in-law, aren't you embarrassed to not save food for the mother of your grandchildren?
She doesn't even care about her grandchild. She's only there for her son.
She
never helps or anything. When we went to visit baby Andrew, like a week or so ago, and I bought pizza, I had pizza. Everybody went back for seconds, and I was just like, that pizza is so good. There's like 4 slices left across the 3 pizza boxes. And I came back in the room, and I was like, hey, is everybody good on pizzas? Somebody feel like they still need more slices? Because I'm like, I know I've had enough, but I'll keep shoving my face because it was so delicious. And Chris is like, yeah, I was thinking of going back for some more. So, okay, no problem. And I didn't eat the pizza. And I asked, and then I was just like, I'm good. If somebody wants more pizza, they can. If everybody says no, I don't want any more pizza, I'll finish it off like a little goblin. But you gotta ask first.
Exactly. It's embarrassing not to.
Yeah.
Because I judge you if you're not, like, not you particularly, but I judge people who don't ask. I'm like, ew, like, you have no manners. I
judge the people who, like, will eat their food when they're served first at a family dinner or something and nobody else has their food yet.
Yes.
Like, I don't like eating until your mom sits down and she's eating with us.
You used to.
No. Yeah. No. I would be continuing to eat the appetizers that were set out 3 hours ahead of time.
Okay.
I don't start eating the lasagna or the pasta dish or anything. I'll continue to eat the bruschetta that was on the table or whatever because that stuff's been in front of me for 3 hours.
Okay, yeah, maybe that's...
Not the main course. Okay. I wait for the main course.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the polite thing to do.
Yeah.
Starting off strong, guys.
Top comment, not the asshole. It's kind of nice without him at home, isn't it?
Yeah. I was going to say, like, it's probably a breath of fresh air.
I mean, if you're, like, kicking him out, that just means, like, he's never even helping with the baby anyway because you're like, I don't even need him home because I'm doing all this shit by myself anyway.
That's what it sounds like. Even though it's just, like, the story is just about the food, it sounds like, I don't know, he's not really helping you out. He's not doing anything. And we're making total assumptions here, but...
Well, that's what we do. Yeah. That is literally our job.
Yes, exactly.
We make assumptions.
Wow. You got me infuriated already.
Don't talk about food. It gets Teresa riled up. It's a sensitive topic for her.
It is.
Oh, guys. Lately, Teresa's been on this TikTok binge. Her whole TikTok is just food. It'll be
Mukbangs.
some tiny little Asian girl shoving her face with 17 hot dogs, or it'll be Keith Lee reviewing something, or it'll be like other people just like trying out jelly bees or jolly bees or something. And just, it's nothing but food. Every time I look over at her checking out TikTok, it's food.
I don't know what's going on with me lately, but I've been watching a lot of food competitions. There's the one Reina is crazy. I love her videos. She's like this tiny little girl that like just eats, like she's beside these like huge gigantic men and they're looking over at her like, this girl's freaking crazy, and she's just like shoving it down, and
Nom, 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 nom.
it's so fun to watch. And then I also like watching like the mukbangs and people trying. I'm salivating right now. I don't know what it is, but if you haven't been on mukbang or foodie side of TikTok, I encourage it. It brings me lots of happiness.
Yeah. Okay. Back to you.
Okay, I have another food one.
Fooding trend.
Yeah.
Microdosing has changed our lives.
This episode of Thread Talk is brought to you by Schedule 35, our go-to for staying productive and getting our creative juices flowing. We've been there, having a million things to do and no motivation to do them, or waiting around for the right ideas to pop into our head. We've recently discovered microdosing with Schedule 35, and it's been a game changer. Even in our chaotic life, it helps us stay laser focused on the important things. And it keeps our mind open to creative ideas, which makes the show even better. Their vegan capsules are dosed to give you the edge you need on your toughest days without the hallucinogenic effects.
Schedule 35 is on a mission to destigmatize and educate on the science and real-world benefits of psilocybin, as well as making it accessible for everyone. Each order ships out discreetly and comes with a microdosing regimen to keep you on track. Are you ready to have your best day ever? Then head over to schedule35.co and make sure to use our promo code ThreadTalk for 15% off your order. That's schedule35.co and use the code ThreadTalk, ThreadTalk, for 15% off your order.
This one was posted 23 hours ago and already has 21,000 upvotes.
Oh.
Am I the asshole for ordering pizza at my friend's wedding because there was no more food?
Pizza again.
Me and my wife were invited to my friend's wedding. The wedding was going to have about 70 people, with mostly family. When we got there, we were seated at a table with some other people. Nice people, and we mingled well and had a good time chatting. The wedding was also quite nice. Both my friend and his new wife were very happy. After the ceremony, every table got 2 bottles of wine, bread and butter, and there was also an open bar, so we started to have a few drinks. Then the food came out. It looked really good. The food was set up for a buffet. I was half buzzed and looking forward to getting some food in my belly. When it was time to eat, every few tables at a time were going to get called, which is fine. The first few tables that were called were understandably the family of both sides. Then the rest were. The problem was that the family members, his in-laws, are larger people. Now, I don't shame people for how much they eat, but I noticed the helpings of food they had while I was patiently waiting for us to be called. I also noticed that they went for seconds before all the tables were called, and no one stopped them. I didn't say anything, though I thought that was rude. I just assumed that there was a lot of food. To my surprise, by the time we were called, there was nothing left. I asked if there was more coming out, and apparently that had already occurred. So we grabbed the little we could and went back to sit down and ate the scraps. We were all still pretty hungry and a bit pissed off, so we kind of bash-talked that the first few tables ate all the food. Someone mentioned that they could go for some pizza, and then I had a drunken idea of ordering some, LOL. So that is what we did. We all pitched in and ordered 4 large pizzas and some chicken wings from the local pizza joint close to the venue, so it didn't take long to be delivered. I met the guy outside and brought the food to our table, and we started to eat. Some of the other tables noticed and asked where the pizza came from. Apparently, some of the other tables close to ours didn't get any food either, so we shared with them. This caused some commotion because other people were looking for and asking the wedding party if there was a pizza available. I guess there were others that didn't get to eat either. We did share with anyone who asked. My friend came to talk to me about why I ordered the pizza. His bride was not happy about it. It ruined the aesthetic. So I told him that we didn't get to eat and that the food ran out long before our table was called and we were all really hungry. He then asked why we didn't just step out and eat and then come back. Though annoyed about that, I respectively explained to him that we were all drinking on an empty stomach and that it probably wasn't the best idea to have drunk people walking around looking for food. I don't think he liked that, but he went back to his bride who was glaring at us. Like, what were we supposed to do? Starve? This wasn't the end, though. As we were finishing eating, one of the in-laws came to our table and he asked where the pizza came from. This is where I may be the asshole. There were 2 slices left. I knew he was eyeing them. I asked the other people at my table if they wanted one. Everyone declined. This guy then said he'd have one. I then took the 2 slices, I put them on my plate, and started to eat them. Then looked at him and said something like, "No, you and everyone at your tables had way more than your fair share at the buffet and ate all of it. This is the reason we ordered food in the first place. And now you have the nerve to ask us to share?" His face went red, and he returned to his table. There was a lot of discussion going on there. They were all looking back at us with daggers. The bride looked even more ticked off at us. She had a bit of an argument with my friend. He eventually came back to tell us that we had to leave. I didn't mean to start any problems, so me and my wife called a cab and left. He called me a few days later, and we had a long talk. I explained my perspective, and he agreed that his in-laws were really rude for eating the food and leaving most of the other guests with very little. A lot of people actually complained to him about it. Everyone was drinking, thinking that there would be food, and they were all disappointed. He was upset by his in-laws because he told them how many guests there would be and to order food for that many people. He also saw how much they were taking, but assumed they ordered enough. He was wrong. He brought this up with his wife, and she said that apparently because the in-laws paid for all the alcohol and the food, they felt entitled to eat what they wanted. She was really mad at them and reamed them out for tainting her special day. He also said a lot of the other non-family guests started to leave soon after we left because they were too hungry. They still had fun celebrating, but it kind of put a downer on their special day. Out of 70 people, about 30 left. I also found out that the guy that came to our table was his father-in-law. Father-in-law was really embarrassed by what I said to him. He felt pretty bad when he found out close to half the guests didn't get to eat anything and left early. So, am I the asshole?
Whew. God, I want my pillow. Kind of. Yeah. But I got you. I'm on your side. Sometimes it's okay to be the asshole. I think the guy is right when he said, like, you know, maybe you could have ate it outside. But at the same time, it's like, that's where the party's at. And, like, I don't know, babe. How do you feel? Do guests deserve to have food when they're at your wedding?
Yeah.
Oh, they deserve food now.
Yes.
Oh, they don't deserve any drinks, but anything besides water. Well, if they're only allowed to drink water, why do they need food? They're there to celebrate the special day. They don't need to eat.
If it's a no-food wedding, which there have been, I'm sure.
The hell is that?
I'm sure there have been many weddings that don't have food because
I've never
some
heard of
people
that.
can't afford it, babe.
Okay, yeah, but then they don't have a wedding.
No, that's not true. You still want to be surrounded by people that love you. You just say that up front. We're not bringing this up again, okay? This has already been talked about.
Been brought up, okay? It's the ThreadTalk theme when we talk about future weddings now.
Let's get to the story. Let's get back to the story.
Well, I just don't think, it's so complicated because, yeah, you shouldn't bring outside food into the wedding. Like, I feel like the proper thing to do is just to leave early, like everybody else did. That's probably the proper thing to do.
He was the first one to leave.
Yeah, but that was after they got kicked out. They ordered the pizza and then they got kicked out and stuff like that. I feel like the proper best thing would have been to just leave when you're hungry. And then when they ask you why you left and stuff, because I didn't get any food. I was starving. I had to leave. I feel like that would have been...
I think it's ruder to leave.
No.
I don't know.
There's nothing wrong with leaving a wedding early. like once the dinner's done, everybody's just dancing and drinking. It's like, I didn't want to be there for that
Dinner
anymore.
is usually done by like 8 or 9.
Exactly. I didn't want to be there anymore after that because I'm fucking starving.
I think he's not an asshole. I would have personally just left and ate and then came back.
Yeah. Well, I think he's kind of an asshole because I don't think you should be ordering pizza. You knew it's going to cause a kerfuffle, ruining their special day. Yes, there wasn't enough food. That's bullshit. Like, straight up. It's very rude of people to go get seconds before anybody else has
That's
ate.
so rude.
That's fucking disgusting
Yeah.
behavior. Like, even if you eat more than most people, when you go into like a wedding setting and it's a buffet and you know that there's lots of people behind you, I don't think you should be like stacking on your plate an enormous amount.
Yeah.
I feel like you should be consciously thinking like, you know, putting a normal amount on for your first rotation, let everybody eat a normal portion size, and then go back for the seconds, because a lot of people don't even eat their normal portion
was just gonna say
sizes.
that.
Some people eat a little bit less. Some people like to eat more. Like, do what is right for you, but the proper etiquette would be not to take too much right away and then not go back for double seconds. So he's making it sound like these people who eat more literally took double servings at the beginning and then went back for seconds. So they had 4 servings before everybody else even got to eat. So it makes sense that they weren't there. And it's kind of a little funny though, because the people who eat more were on the side of the family that paid for everything.
So they were entitled.
Not even that they were entitled. It's like, you know, you're going to eat more than the average person. Why didn't you order enough food? Because it's like you ordered food for 80 people, but then...
But this is what I mean. Aren't you embarrassed? I think it's embarrassing on both sides a little bit. Embarrassing on the people hosting, because it's like, well, you didn't have enough food to feed all of your guests.
Yeah, aren't you embarrassed for that?
Yeah.
Aren't you embarrassed because you overate?
Yeah.
And honestly, like, aren't you
okay.
embarrassed that you ordered pizza to somebody's wedding?
Yeah. Yeah. It's both sides, I think. But
Like,
you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah,
I
like,
guess.
order the pizza and sit outside of the dance hall and mow down a couple pieces of pizza, go in, grab a drink, come back to the pizza boxes, mow down, and then come back in. But either way, I feel like pizza's going to get around. Pizza is such like a shareable, delicious smelling thing that it's going to get around. I feel like just kind of everybody sucks here. And then like bride and groom kicked them out when they not created the problem in the first place. Like, yeah, it's their wedding, and yeah, mother-in-law and father-in-law paid for the food and stuff like that, but it's still your wedding. You still decided how many people the food was ordered for. Right?
Like, they have the final say.
They have the final say, and it's
think.
like, don't you know that your family likes to have bigger portions? So you're like, okay, well, there's 80 people here, but you know, they eat a little bit more than normal. Maybe we should order food for 100 people. Like, I would rather over-order food for myself
for sure
for the wedding, and then maybe have that food leftovers taken to like
a shelter.
Yeah, a shelter or something like that with like the extra food from wedding, versus having too little food. But the biggest assholes in this whole story are definitely the family that like double overate and then went back for seconds before you let other people eat. But also as a bride and groom, it's like, did you let that happen? Like, are you not like looking at the room and stuff?
Well,
maybe not.
What are they gonna say? Hey, sit back down.
Maybe not, but like, yeah, that's just despicable.
I think maybe like to prevent this in the future, like maybe if you have an MC saying, oh, table 1 go up, table 2 go up, just before you let all the tables go up, say, hey, we want all the tables to go up first, and then you can go have seconds. Like, just make that like a blanket statement at the beginning.
I feel like Madison's MC did that at their wedding.
So.
I'm pretty sure he did that. I'm thinking of that because at Madison's wedding, it was like a buffet, and I'm pretty sure they had that.
That's what I'm thinking too. So I think maybe that could have avoided it, but I mean, who knows? Maybe they still would have been like, oh, fuck that guy. I don't know. Yeah. I'm gonna go eat. It's my money. I paid for it. So
that's entitled.
Yeah, it's very entitled and embarrassing. Like,
yeah.
Ew,
how can you have that attitude? Like, yeah, it's your money and you paid for it, but like, that'd be like, come out to dinner with us don't worry, I got you. And then people order food, and then you're sitting to my right, and you got a tasty steak, and I got the chicken, and I'm like, you know what? I'm footing the bill for everybody, so I'm gonna cut myself a piece of your dinner there and put it onto my plate.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I got the bill. Like,
That's so true.
bro, I'll pay for myself. Also, don't people usually bring like a busta or something that pays for their plate?
A busta, in Italian, is just like an envelope with money.
Okay, well, I'm white, Canadian, whatever, and we still bring a gift to weddings.
I'm just saying the word busta.
Oh, okay. What's it normally called?
I have no idea. A gift.
the white person envelope. I guess the Canadian person. I don't know. Everybody's Canadian. Okay. One thing that I wanted to say. Wait, what's the top comment?
Top comment. Can't believe the father-in-law asked for pizza. LOL.
Yeah, bro. But
that too. We didn't even talk about that.
I'm just. Everybody's gonna want pizza though. Doesn't matter what you ate before. You smell pizza. Late night drinking snack. Pizza. So I was saying, if we were going to have our wedding in Canada and not in the States, or no, States, Italy, and we're not going to Italy, I would want the late night dinner snack to be pizza.
Yeah.
Domino's pizza.
Oh, we can do that. We're going to Italy.
Domino's pizza.
Oh, please.
I would order in 20 I would redeem all my points of Domino's and order in $20. When your sister gets married, it'll be our gift to them. We'll get the after the late night snack.
They're not going to let the pizza guy in.
Can we ask our villa if we can get pizza for a late night snack?
There's no Domino's nearby.
No, I didn't say Domino's, just pizza. Oh. Can we get pizza for a late night snack?
I think, focaccia was the option.
What's focaccia?
It's pizza, like, without sauce. It's just like a doughy, like, with olive oil and, like...
Doesn't sound like pizza. Can we ask him for pizza? He said we can get anything we want as long as we prepay for it. I'm going to ask for pizza.
Okay, so there is an edit that I haven't read.
Oh, snap.
My goodness. I didn't think I was going to get this kind of response, lol. So many comments. I went through a good chunk of my messages and thought that it would be easier to address the common ones here. 1. The only reason I ordered the pizzas was because I was drinking. All I ate that day was a sandwich for lunch and some bread that was at the table. So I needed something more substantial in my stomach so I wouldn't get sick. So no, I couldn't wait it out a few hours. I wasn't the only person drinking either because the open bar was booming. However, I guess I could have held back on the drinking a bit until the food came out. 2. Those saying that I fat-shamed the father-in-law, I'm going to have to disagree. I didn't say anything about him, about his body. I was only honest with him about why I had to order the food. I don't judge people based on looks, and I accept everyone for who they are, as they are. You can't judge a book by its cover. So I judge people based on their actions. If you knew me, you would see that my friend group ranges from basic people to freaks and weirdos, lol. In fact, a good friend of mine, nicknamed Crusher, is a big dude, absolutely hilarious and super fun to hang out with. That's kind of cringe to say. I don't know, whatever. 3. This is not an AI-generated post, lol. My intelligence may be limited, but there is nothing artificial about it. 4. The buffet was at my friend's request. He loves buffets, and this was his added touch to the wedding. He also chose the dishes. I know that is not common for weddings to do buffets, but that's what he wanted. Thanks everyone for your comments. I will continue to read them and update this thread accordingly.
I thought buffets were chosen because they're the cheaper option.
Yeah, I think they are.
You can have a much smaller catering staff if you have a buffet because you only need the people that will set up the buffet and bring it. But if you have a if you have a plated dinner service, then you need to have like 20 to 30 people, depending on how many people are at the wedding, because everybody pretty much needs to get their food at the same time. I worked in the behind the scenes for like wedding venue and I was a server essentially. And what it is in like the back of the kitchen, they'll cook all of the portions and then they will start plating, and then all of the wait staff, which is like 20 people, will get in one big line at the back of the kitchen, and there'll be one person who'll be the head and he'll be the pointer essentially. So they'll be like, okay, everybody ready to go, and the pointer will be at the front, everybody will be behind. If you're in the front of the line, you grab 2 plates, one in each hand, and then you follow the pointer, and the pointer will essentially, the person's at the front of the line, he gets pointed to the bride and groom, and he'll point to the bride and groom, and then there'll be a different pointer for like the specialty. If you're like off the main course, if you have an allergy or something and you're off the main, you'll follow the second person, and then he'll tell you which table, which person, seating arrangement gets which meal. And essentially you just roll out like that. You go, you place your dish, and then you walk back in the kitchen, you go to the back of the line. So essentially it's one consistent line of waiters with 2 plates each following the pointer, and boom, boom, you place your plate and then you go back down so that everybody gets the same meal within about 5-10 minutes it takes for the whole thing for every single meal. So it takes a lot more waiting staff, which is a lot more cost versus having a buffet. Buffet, you really only need the cooks and then you need a couple people to bring it out on the trays and replace the trays. So way less cost to have a buffet versus having it plated.
I think it's also food costs are lower too. Because usually I think like seated plated dinners are involve steak or like...
Yeah, possibly.
Nicer finishings on the plates and stuff, you know?
Possibly, I guess. Yeah. I think it's mainly the people. Big cost, but both. But yeah, so buffets, I thought it was a little weird. He's like, my friend loves buffets. Like, I thought that statement was just kind of odd.
Yeah, also his second statement too. Oh, I have fat friends. It's giving, I'm not racist. I have a black friend. Like,
yeah, it doesn't really matter whether they are large or not. They could have just been a regular person who just took too much servings. Took too much.
Yeah, I think just the way he explained it was a little bit weird. But anyways, I digress.
So many people probably were embarrassed. Like, bride and groom were embarrassed after everything came to light and they found out what happened and why those people are hungry. And like they said, there was more people who were hungry outside of who they ordered pizza with. There was lots of people who were at the lower ends of the tables. That is the one thing, I don't love the buffets because the people are at the end. It takes a long time for everybody to go through the buffets.
Yeah.
Like it could be like 30 minutes from the time the front people start eating to the people at the back start eating.
Yeah.
2 different approaches. So
yeah. All right, let's just move on.
You want to move on?
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Teresa wants to move on, guys.
Okay, let's go.
My turn?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna bounce off yours. I got a wedding one.
Okay.
Kind of. This one's from r/off my chest. It was posted 2 months ago. My future in-laws seem like terrible, terrible people, and it's slowly being revealed as we plan the wedding. For context, her parents are not footing the bill. And fiancé has just blamed all of her parents' faults on the fact that they are Chinese. I can't tell if it's a cultural thing or if they were just shit people. Or maybe it's a shit culture. We just started planning the wedding, and every aspect so far has been a point of contention for whatever reason. For example, they got mad when they found out that I didn't want a registry, and I wanted to just have an option to donate to an organization that helps victims of human trafficking. I make very good money, by the way, so it's not a function of being financially irresponsible. I cannot conceive why you would look down on someone for having a charity on their registry. I responded with, quote, would you rather I put on my registry, upgrade our honeymoon tickets from business class to first class? And then they said yes. I legitimately cannot wrap my head around it. Maybe it's culture. I don't know. I have been losing sleep over it. They are inviting more people that neither me nor my fiance even knows than my fiance herself is inviting. I can't wait till her mom finds out the reverend that is officiating the wedding is black. She's going to lose her mind. I'm going to actively do everything I can do for this reveal to be too late for any changes. The mom unironically justified that Mayo's 100 million kill count was alright because despite all that, China did right by not having black people. I worry that having to deal with this bullshit will be a continuing issue throughout our marriage. Here's another reason. I passively make well beyond a doctor's salary. I'm not trying to flex, but neither parent knows exactly what I do for a living, because apparently my vocation is binary. Either you're a doctor or you're not a doctor. And they have told me more than once that I should go study to be a doctor, which I always just say, I'm not taking that pay cut. Then they respond with, life's not all about money. Because of those adamant conversations this whole time, I've legitimately believed that they respected doctors because they help people or something. I'm now learning that this is very clearly not the case. Yeah, somehow they still don't know what their daughter's fiancé does for a living, even though we've been dating for 7 years. Like, actually, what could be done here? On one hand, I don't want to cause harm to my fiance and her relationship with her parents. But on the other hand, they're like children. Unless I don't understand something, they just seem like bad people. Oh yeah, and her mom keeps alluding to me being gay because I rent out one of the extra rooms in my house to a friend. When he first moved in, she said it was weird that he was moving in because my uncle is gay. Her father is a dentist, and so is she. I have a few dentists in my circle as well, and they generally say that they see 10 to 12 patients a day. My fiance's workplace pushed her to do 40 patients in a day. Frustrated, she went home to complain about it to her dad, and he just called her weak, citing that, when I was at your age, I had to do that too. Which, when I found out about this, I instantly knew it was bullshit because dental x-rays used to have to be developed and weren't digital. Either he's the Michael Phelps of dentistry or completely full of shit. The choices seem like condone shitty behavior and live with it, don't condone it and constantly be at odds. I don't know what to do.
That's tough. I hope your fiance doesn't have any of these traits, but I think that's the main question here. That's the main concern.
Yeah.
Because you're not marrying your fiance's parents. You're marrying your fiance.
Right?
They're just someone that you, or some people that you have to deal with. Bigoted as they might be, should it affect your decision in marrying her? I don't know. Is that his question?
Yeah, like, well, at the end of this question is, does he condone shitty behavior and live with it, or don't condone it and constantly be at odds?
It's tough. I feel like you got to talk to your fiance about it. Because, yeah, I wouldn't want to be around people like this.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be around any of that. Like, aren't they embarrassed? Like,
yeah.
Talk.
Sorry, I was going to say, yeah, just talk to your fiance about it. And, how does she feel about it? Does she agree that they are shitty people? Is this something that she can... Well, I would imagine that she would be afraid to stick up to them.
Right? One comment, he replies to somebody, says, fiance doesn't abide by the same values as her parents. She has slowly been moved to want to be cut off from them, and it's further been exasperated by the wedding planning.
Okay.
Sounds like she's on board. Just cut them out, bro.
Yeah, right after the wedding. I mean, if they're paying for the wedding.
No, they're not paying.
Oh, they're not? Then just cut them out now.
Yeah. The top comment, for context, her parents are not footing the bill.
Okay. Cut them off now. If he's okay with it.
Sounds like he wants to.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I would definitely talk to her about it. And it seems like you both are on the same page.
So, top comment, some of this is cultural.
Yeah.
Brackets, inviting more people because they are expected to give 3 times the plate cost in cash in Chinese culture. The parents are trying to recoup costs they've had over the years of attending everybody else's weddings. But yeah, you throw a wrench in that plan if you ask that money be sent to charity instead. And some is just that they suck personally. Racism above and beyond the cultural norm, not being able to understand that their culture is just one point of view and they should bend to make whatever makes you happy. How much will you have to deal with them after this? If you won't really have to see them, do not waste your time trying to educate them.
Yeah, I would agree with that. They're not people that are going to change. They're not open to change.
It's just a matter of how much do you love your wife?
Yeah, but also, how much does this matter to her? If she doesn't care to have them in her life, I don't see the issue. You just cut them off.
Yeah. Cut.
Done.
Boom. Moving on.
All right. Mine is coming from r/ThreadTalk. Title is, What the fuck is wrong with people? Long-time listener, first-time poster. Always wanted to say that, lol. I love your show, and after my return flight from Europe, my husband suggested I post my experience here. So buckle up and settle in. I'm actually going to give a trigger warning for this. Public indecency.
Oh, okay.
I recently went to Europe for a week for work. It was my first time on a commercial flight and my first time leaving the States. Little did I know how many more firsts I would experience on this journey. First off, I missed my initial flight to Europe because of turbulence from Hurricane Beryl. So this led to me being 24 hours later than expected for my arrival. I had to talk to customer service, and they were amazing and got me taken care of. Then that flight was delayed an hour due to maintenance. Once I was finally at my destination, I had the best time. It was amazing visiting another country, and I feel like it sparked a need to travel more often. Anyways, fast forward to my last day there. I head to the airport, wait on my flight, grab breakfast. Everything is great. I board the plane, and my seatmate and I have an empty seat between us. We start dreaming about being able to stretch our legs on this long flight and how amazing it would be if no one shows up. Those hopes were dashed when a guy hurriedly boarded the plane and sat in between the two of us in the last few minutes of boarding. Not the worst thing, right? As I had done on my other flights, I made small talk with my new seatmate. I mean, we were going to be sharing space for nearly 10 hours, right? He told me how he was traveling for work and was very excited to be going to the States. Seemed like a nice guy. The plane took off, no turbulence. Not long into the flight, he requested to go to the toilet. No big deal. When he got back to his seat, he began picking his nose, his scalp, his skin. It grossed me out. But hey, I'll watch a movie and stare at the window. So that's what I did for the rest of the flight. Until there were about 2 hours left, and I happened to look at my left and noticed that my seatmate had decided to entertain himself, if you know what I mean. I was appalled. He had a blanket on his lap, hand underneath, and while he was trying to be discreet about it, it was extremely clear what was going on. Now, I am an anxious person who hates confrontation. I immediately turned back to the window, noise-canceling headphones still on, and tried to calm myself down. I was shaking. I pressed the call button for the flight attendant, and he immediately took his hand out from under the blanket and began scratching his leg. While I was waiting for the flight attendant, I removed my headphones, turned toward him, and said, "You know, that was really obvious what you were doing, right?" Of course, he acted all confused and said, "What do you mean?" I looked him straight in the face. "You were clearly jerking off," and I motioned towards the blanket on his lap. He immediately apologized and saying he is sorry if it looked like he was, but maybe he was just scratching his leg, etc. And he said he was sorry if he offended me. Not really the reaction of an innocent party, in my opinion. The flight attendant finally got to our row, and I asked if I could switch seats. She asked what happened, and I just couldn't make myself to say it out loud. So she asked if I would go to the back of the plane to talk to her, but my bags would have to stay in my seat, and I didn't want to risk the guy finding out who I was or something. She mentioned that we only had about 2 hours to landing, and I said fine, and turned back to the window, which is the position I stayed in for the remainder of the flight. He kept sighing heavily throughout the rest of the flight. At one point, our other seatmate got up to use the toilet. I took off my headphones and turned to him and said that we were almost to our destination, and I just wanted to be off the plane and not discuss it any further. He said, "Thank you, I'm sorry if I offended you. I wouldn't do that." And I said, "That's exactly what it looked like." He responded, "I think that's disgusting." And I said, "Oh, I agree. It is disgusting." And I turned back to the window until time to deplane. Meanwhile, he kept his blanket on his lap the entire remainder of the flight. When he got up to get his bags from his overhead bin, he wadded up his blanket and left it in the seat, and I noticed he had severe sweat marks under his arms. So he was burning up and still kept the blanket on his lap. The last thing he said before he left was, "Safe travels," and I just nodded in response. Then I waited for as long as I could to ensure he had gotten far away from the gate before I left the plane. The flight attendant did stop me on the way out, and I told her what had happened. She was apologetic and said she wished she would have known, and she would have told the guy to switch seats with me. I explained that I didn't go to the back of the plane for fear of leaving my stuff and having to go past the guy to get out. The flight attendant was very sweet, and I'm grateful that she cared enough to check on me. Also, I have no idea why our seatmate didn't notice all of this. I don't know if she was sleeping or what, but in hindsight, I wish I would have been louder. Picture that viral video a year or two ago. That motherfucker is not real. Hopefully that experience is a first that will never have a second.
Yo, that's gross.
That's fucked up.
Ew.
I don't know what I would have done.
Oh my god.
This girl's brave.
I'm cringing right now.
She said she's a very anxious person, so I think it took a lot.
Yeah.
To say something, because she messaged me on Reddit. She was like, I think we would be such great friends. She said she was an accountant too, and like we were just like very similar. And I was like, oh my god. And when I read the story too, I was like, I don't know, I kind of like see similarities in us because I'm also an anxious person, but I don't think I would have said anything. Like, I would have been scared.
That's fucking nasty. Like, bro, if someone's willing to do that in public, like, they're clearly unhinged.
Exactly. So... You don't know what they're capable of. Like, I don't know. But, like, at the same time, like, yeah, it's important to hold people accountable because now he's probably embarrassed and hopefully won't do it again.
Bro, that blanket's probably crusty.
Oh, my God. I don't even want to think about that. Like, so vile and disgusting. But I felt really sorry for OP. This is something that nobody should ever have to experience. And in her first international flight, like...
Poor girl.
That's just, like, truly disgusting. There's another comment, besides me, that says, so incredibly sorry this happened to you, OP. It infuriates me that the flight attendant wouldn't just switch your seat. I know she was kind and apologetic, but I know a lot of flights now grant seat switch requests without requiring an explanation. Shout out Spirit Airlines. If you feel a need to, it may be helpful to process through this with a professional, as this sounds like a very traumatic experience. Yeah, I would suggest that as well.
I don't really get that. Like they're just gonna swap you with somebody else, so that somebody else has to suffer this. That seems a little weird to put somebody else into a situation that you're trying to get out of. Now, you could ask like, "Hey, is there any empty seats at the back that I can go to? I don't want to sit here anymore." They shouldn't. You should be allowed to do that no matter what.
Yeah, maybe that's what they mean.
But if like you're asking for like swapping with someone else, it's like that's not real. Like,
I don't think it's saying switch your seats with someone else. It's just saying swap your switch your seat.
So I'm just saying swapping on a full flight. Yes, you're in a terrible situation, and 100% that sucks, and you should get away from it. But it wouldn't be fair to swap in an innocent person into that situation.
If that's the case, yeah.
Yeah, if that is the case. So yeah. But if it's not a full flight, then there shouldn't be swapping or anything. You should just be able to like go to an empty seat if you want a different seat.
Yeah. I feel disgusted for her. When I read this, I was like, this is not where I thought it was going.
That's gross.
Yeah. Aren't you embarrassed? Come on, though. Aren't you embarrassed? What did you think? Economy seats are so squished together. Like,
bro, you're literally touching elbows. Your arms are touching each other the whole time.
My God. People have no shame. This world is...
That's messed up.
Yeah.
Does anybody else take their shoes off on really long flights?
Okay, I just saw a TikTok about this.
Should I be embarrassed for that?
I just saw a TikTok about this, and it said, you should not be taking your shoes off unless you get 2 meals on the plane. Like, unless it's, like, over, like, an 8-hour flight, and you actually get 2 meals on the plane, you should not be taking your shoes off. And I was like, okay...
Honestly, I don't care. My flight can be an hour. The first thing I do when I sit down on a plane is I take my shoes off.
I feel like we might get some hate for that. I never used to. I think this was my first time that I did it.
But like, honestly, like airplanes themselves are already so gross that me taking off my shoes doesn't matter.
Well, if they're smelly...
They're smelly for 5 seconds and then they're not smelly anymore once the smell releases. But like, bro, you're in a pressurized capsule with like 300 people that are an inch apart. Everybody's fucking farting and burping as well. So like me taking my shoes off, like I don't care. I'm not embarrassed by it. I want to be comfy. On
the last flight, like on the way home from Italy, I was thinking like next time we go on a long flight, I will probably bring slippers.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. Because I was like, even just to get up and go to the bathroom to like put the shoes on again.
And stuff,
I was like, but I'm not going to go barefoot. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
So I was like...
One time I went to go to the washroom and I was barefoot and then I got to the washroom and I was like, oh, fuck, this is a bad idea. I gotta go back and get my shoes.
That's gross.
I went back, got my shoes.
Oh, okay.
I didn't go in it. I was about to step in and then I realized like I don't have shoes on and the bathroom floor is always moist. So I went back and got my shoes.
If you're going to shame us, be nice about it.
I can handle it. I don't care. I'm not embarrassed by it because my feet need to breathe.
It's dogs.
They need some fresh air.
The dogs need some
Now,
air.
if you were to take off your socks,
That's a different story.
that's too far. Too far. I'm not on board with that.
Yeah, but I was kind of embarrassed on the flight because I've never done it before. But I was like, it's a 9-hour flight. Like, I don't want to keep my shoes on this long.
Yeah, no, I'm taking them off.
And I was sleeping. Like, it was a red eye. I was like,
I did
and
instantly.
on the way there, we didn't have anybody in our row.
Oh, yeah. It was only on the way back when there was one person there. We were like, But I'm just like, I'm shameless.
Yeah, you are.
Like, as soon as I sat down, the plane hasn't taken off yet. My shoes are off.
Let us know if you guys do that too.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people do that, though.
I don't. I looked around and everyone had their fucking shoes on.
That's okay.
I was like, oh my gosh, should I be embarrassed? Like,
I like to travel in comfort. I like to maximize, People who are leaving their shoes on, those are the people who like stand up right away and get in line to get on the plane.
I wouldn't say that.
People who take their shoes off, they wait till the very last moment to board.
No, that's not true.
It's not a coincidence, but I don't know. Connection.
Okay.
I don't know. All right, moving on.
Yeah.
Back to me. This one's coming from. Am I the asshole? Would I be the asshole public?
Huh?
r/AITA _WIBTA _ public. Yeah, 2 months ago, posted 2 months ago.
Got it.
Am I the asshole for not allowing my son and his fiance in my house because they don't treat my wife like a grandma?
Okay.
So, my son, Mason, 25 male, got with his fiance pretty young. They were 18 at the time. Now, would I have agreed with this choice of his, especially for a kid who is in engineering in a top university? No, but he seemed happy, and that's what matters to me, just as long as he didn't forget about his studies and himself. My wife, on the other hand, didn't. She wanted him to do the same as our eldest 2 children did. No dating, just focusing on school and coming out with amazing grades. They had a big argument about not only his choice of dating, but his girlfriend, Tracy. Also, in brackets, nothing racist, my wife and his girlfriend are the same race, bracket. They barely argue, so this didn't hurt the relationship much, and they moved past it. What set it off was when Mason was able to qualify for an engineering program abroad. Me and my wife were obviously excited since this would be great for his future. He would come back at least once a month, and although we wished he'd spend more time with us, it was normal that he would spend that time with Tracy. Well, while he was still abroad, Tracy approached us and told us she was pregnant. I was excited, but my wife was cynical about the pregnancy and asked her straight up if it was Mason's. Tracy got offended and they argued. She got her parents involved who were all saying their daughter would never step outside of a relationship and that my wife just didn't want Mason to step up for his own kid. I told them that it was natural to get wary since Mason was barely home and we could all solve this with a DNA test when the baby was born. Tracy and her parents were against this idea, but after talking to Mason, he agreed, although he was a bit disappointed in his mom. Skip to 9 months later and a couple more weeks for the DNA test, and the baby was his. My wife apologized and now just wants to move on. Tracy didn't. She said she didn't want my wife involved since she stressed her out during the pregnancy. And since she doubted her own granddaughter, she shouldn't get to be in her life. My wife was absolutely broken by this and kept asking for her forgiveness over and over again, but Tracy and Mason refused. It got to the point where she would cry herself to sleep, and it really broke me. I called Mason to tell him to come to his senses that his mom was just worried about him and wanted to make sure that he wasn't trapped with a baby that wasn't his. He argued that she needed to hurt a little for the pain that she caused Tracy. What pain? She just didn't interact with Tracy until the baby was proven to be Mason. I called him dumb for allowing Tracy to continuously disrespect his mother like this. I told him that until he sees his mom like how a son should, he and Tracy are no longer welcomed in my house. This was her house too, more of the fact, since she stayed home and I won't have her feeling insecure in her own house. He got mad and threatened to keep my grandchild away from me, but at this point, I'm not going to be manipulated. I told him if he wants to cut me off and live happily ever after with Tracy and her family, he can do so. So I hanged up. He blocked me. I don't think what I did was wrong. My other kids are on my side, and Mason is just getting manipulated by Tracy and her family. My youngest, though, thinks I shouldn't have banned him from my house. So, am I the asshole?
Yeah. I think your wife is an asshole, actually.
Yeah. Are you not embarrassed by your wife, bro?
Yeah. This is very embarrassing. I didn't know if that's what the overall conclusion was going to be because I wasn't sure. But I'm happy that you're agreeing with me because, yeah, I'm just picturing, like, if for some reason, like, we wanted to have kids now and whatever, and it's like us. Like, I'm 25. We started dating when I was 18.
Yep.
That's like if your dad was like, oh, Denver, is it yours? I would be fucking fuming.
And imagine my dad and Liz didn't want to talk to you until the pregnancy was over and the baby was born to prove that it was.
I would be... No. Like, I'm just trying to put myself in their shoes. And yeah, she has every right to be upset, and so does he. And I'm glad that he has her back.
Yeah. It's like, okay, your kid is dating someone that maybe you don't think he should be dating at this time. Whatever. He's an adult. But he's doing what he wants to do.
Also, that was so weird. He was 18. He wasn't allowed to date. That was so weird.
Well, I think the parents are super strict, and they want, just like the older two kids, like they're paying for his school. He needs to be an engineer. He needs to only do school. He's not allowed to have a distraction.
Yeah, no, they're weird. I don't like them.
So it's like, no, I'm not even going to talk to you. I'm not going to help you through the pregnancy. I'm not going to do anything for you until you prove the baby is mine. So it's like, you don't think that's going to make the person resentful and not want to give you access to the child?
There are consequences.
You're not owed anything.
No.
You're a grandparent, not a parent. You have no rights to the grandchild. That's a privilege.
Exactly. I love it. Yes, that's a privilege. Yeah. And there are consequences to making these assumptions. Like, yeah. Either she is the parent, he is the parent, or he's not. If he isn't, great for you. Like, you were right. She won't be in your life.
But you should still go forward like he is until proven otherwise.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. People who meddle with relationships for their adult kids, like, I just think it's weird. I think it's like, they're adults. They can make whatever decision they want. Like, that's not your place anymore.
Yeah.
At 18.
So, top comment. Let's flip the script to try to make this easier to judge, as it is far more common scenario on the sub. Quote, my parents, who always disapproved of my relationship in the first place, accused my fiancé of infidelity as soon as she announced she was pregnant. Then, they refused to talk to her until the baby was born, and we proved that she was faithful. My fiancé was so offended by this that she decided to continue no contact with my mother and refused her access to the child after it was born, as she was clearly just a toxic force in our relationship. Fast forward a bit. My dad called me and started making demands as to how I should treat my mother with respect, as a son should, and that I'm not allowed back in their home until I do. And he didn't even acknowledge how deeply her actions hurt my fiancé and strained my relationship with them. He ended the call by saying, you can cut me off if you want and live happily ever after with your fiancé and her family, then you can do that. And then he hung up. After the call, I blocked him like he asked. My other siblings said I'm the asshole for blocking him, but I'm in support of my future wife and child and how they made me feel. Am I the asshole for blocking my dad after he gave me this ultimatum? The comments would be swamped with, not the asshole, not the asshole. So therefore, you're the asshole.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Great perspective.
Yeah.
I'm so glad. When you were reading it, I thought that I was going to be on the wrong side.
Like, aren't you embarrassed for, like, typing this out and thinking that you're in the right?
Okay, I'm glad it was, like, a sweeping asshole.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right.
Back to you.
Back to me. This one comes from Petty Revenge. Guy gets out of his car to attack me physically. Quickly changes his mind. I'm driving home today on a side street. I'm tootling along, going the speed limit, when a guy suddenly pulls in front of me from a parking space at the curb, slow enough and recklessly enough where I almost hit him. He had no turn signal on. He seems lost, so I slow him way down. He then proceeds in front of me very, very slowly, blocking the flow of traffic, weaving back and forth. He then starts to turn right, so I slow even more. Then he very abruptly veers in front of me, wildly to the left, cutting me off completely, so I slam on my brakes and honk the horn once to warn him. This idiot stops his car literally sideways in the middle of the street, blocking me, blocking traffic in both directions. He then rolls his window down, starts flipping me off, and commences to scream at me. I just sit there in my car, wondering if he's lost his mind. He then opens his car door, still screaming at me, still flipping me off, gets out of his car, and starts to threaten me with beating me up. I'm a small woman. I calmly pick up my phone, do not roll down my window. My car doors are locked, and I simply and very obviously start recording him. He continues to march up to my car, yelling at me. The minute he sees me recording him on my cell phone, he abruptly stops screaming. All at once, he becomes as meek as a mouse, then very politely and somewhat bizarrely attempts to explain himself. My window is still up. I am still recording him. When I do not stop recording or put the phone down, do not react to him, and do not say a word, he then turns on his heels, runs to his car, and drives off in the opposite direction like a bat out of hell. Funny how the threat of making an asshole go viral, possibly lose his job, and expose him to the world as the asshole that he is, possibly a drunk asshole, almost immediately altered what could have been a police report and an assault into a frightened rabbit turning tail and running away terrified. Not sure if this is revenge, but it is still pretty petty all the way around.
Jeez. Man. This just reminds me of like the last road raging story that we had. I don't like getting messed up in road ragers. You never know.
You never know. And yeah, it is very embarrassing to like get out of your car.
Oh, it's always embarrassing when you're
Like-
the one who gets out of the car and tries to fight someone. Like, come on, bro. Like,
Ew.
come on. You think you're so tough, man.
It's giving secondhand embarrassment.
Why try to be that tough guy who thinks you're so tough? Like, you threaten someone's life. Like, what if they decide to run you over with their car?
Yeah, exactly. Self-defense.
Like, you never know what the other person is going through or who they are or how they'll react or anything.
Yeah, and like I've said before, I have road rage. But
You never get out of the car.
I will never get out of the car because that is so humiliating to me. It's like, ew, I let this stranger get me so heated that I like had to get out of my car and show my face to all the traffic around me. Like, aren't you embarrassed? Oh my God. My social anxiety could never.
Yeah. Just stay away from that. Like, I just watched this another clip. Like, we talked about this last time we talked about road raging, where dude went to road rage in the States and he got shot from trying to come up and punch through the window. I just watched another one where the dude actually walked up with a gun, handgun, to the side of the car, and instead of like, he was like using it, he was just like beating on the side of the door with the gun. Yeah, he got shot in the face.
By himself?
No.
Oh.
By the person inside the car.
Oh my God.
He walked up to the car, pointing a gun at him, and then when he got close and the gun was down, and the other person took their opportunity and they shot back, and they shot first.
Oh my God.
Don't pull a gun out unless you're gonna shoot. And he pulled it out to be a threat to somebody, and he got shot by somebody else who was concealed carry. But
Yeah.
even in Canada here, like I watched one on like whatever, dude with a knife gets out of the car and tries to like stab someone. People are freaking insane nowadays.
I know.
It's like, don't get out of your car. Just keep on driving.
Yeah, I think this approach is perfect. It's like,
Yeah.
record.
Record them.
Sometimes I think it will make them more angry, though.
Sometimes it does. Sometimes when you record people, it's kind of funny, like triggers them, and they just go batshit crazy. See, that's where I'm
It's
like,
funny until it's not, though.
it's funny until it's not. At the same time, though, like you can record stuff, you feel safe in your car until you're not.
Yeah.
Like in this situation, like she is recording herself for her own defense and like whatever, and like that's all fine and dandy until it's not.
Exactly.
Because recording people could also send them off the deep end.
We can't do anything right, honestly. Like,
No.
There's no...
Because like you've seen people where they record them like, oh yeah, record this, and they go even nuts. So like
Yeah.
glass is only strong until it's broken.
Yeah.
And your driver's window can be broken kind of easily.
Yeah.
So
I don't have the right advice to give.
there's no right advice. The best advice is avoid it at all costs.
But what are you supposed to do? Like, not honk your horn when someone's being an asshole? Like, I have heard stories, people, like, they got into like really serious situations like this where someone like pulled out a gun or pulled out a knife and now they don't honk anymore.
Exactly.
Like, they don't
yeah,
react.
just don't honk. You should be allowed to honk.
I know, it's tough.
You should be allowed to, but in this day and age, like the only thing better than being right is being alive. And not having to be in one of these situations. So like, yeah, it sucks, but my recommendation is not to honk.
Just bite your tongue.
Yeah, because people go freaking nuts and you never know who is who and what mood they're in and what they went through that day. People are freaking getting crazier by the day here.
I know. It's scary.
It is getting scary.
So there is 2 updates that I have not read yet. This was only posted 2 days ago. Update. I went in today to file a report. Unfortunately, although you can clearly see him and his car on the video, you can't see his license plate. I only started filming when he started to get out of his car. As I noted, the car was stopped sideways about 10 feet ahead of me, perpendicular to mine, blocking me in. When he took off in the opposite direction from the direction I was facing. Not that I had any plans to chase him down. The police apologized and said there wasn't much that they can do, as other than yelling, he didn't physically do anything to me or my car. But at least there was a record of his face and car should he pull this crap again. And no, I'm not posting the video up. The police assured me that posting the video, it might bring more attention and trouble than I would want to deal with, and I'm normally a private person. Sorry for the anticlimax, but hoping that after this, he might think twice before leaping out of his car and threatening to assault someone over his own stupid driving.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it'll bring more trouble than it's worth. And like, if they're already doing stupid driving like that, something is obviously wrong with them. Like, that's just a little bit different of like, they merge really closely in front of you. Like, this dude's unhinged. His driving was very erratic.
Yeah. So there's another update. Well, not really an update, but I am both fascinated and taken aback by the viciousness of some here wanting to ruin this guy's life by my posting the video. I'm not posting the video. Full stop. Why are people so damn mean? I'm old, probably old enough to be your mother, or in some cases your grandmother. The idiot who pulled his stunt acted like a full-on idiot. He was going to threaten and at least frighten the older woman, and then he saw the camera and realized what a moron he was. That's enough. He didn't do anything for me to ruin his entire life over. Seeing the car he was driving, his face, clothes, even his hair, and how he behaved, his life pretty much completely sucks as it is now. At some point or another, we all do stupid shit. Say stupid things and act like assholes, all of us. Even though it was me who was left a victim here, I don't carry that much anger. Mostly I got a good laugh over his horrified face at the moment he realized he was on camera. That he then came to not just a screeching halt with his stupid behavior, but was then trying to so very desperately to reverse his stupidity. He knew in that moment exactly how stupid he was being. He's probably searching all over the internet right now, hoping he doesn't find his face. He won't. That's enough for me. It's a hard lesson learned for him. This one instance is not enough to ruin a life despite almost full braying mob. The internet version of pitchforks and torches, bring out the monster. Me terrifying this guy with a camera is petty revenge. Me purposely ruining his life over one dumb moment where no one was hurt and nothing was damaged. I'm not that person. Neither should you be. I fully disagree with this woman. I don't think it's you ruining his life. It's his own actions.
Yeah,
and it wouldn't be ruining his life. I don't think.
Like she said, she feels bad. It sounds like his life was already pretty rough to begin with, but you know, that's
consequences of your own actions.
That is true.
You reap what you sow.
Nowadays. Yep.
And maybe doing this will bring, I don't know, like prevent him in the future.
It could, because who knows what he might do the next time.
I don't agree with this approach at all. Like, and it's not you ruining his life. Like, he did that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Whatever. Moving on.
Just avoid road rage incidences.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. This one was reposted onto ThreadTalk podcast to bring to my attention. Am I the asshole for pursuing the nanny?
Ooh.
It's originally posted in Am I the Asshole, but this one's was on Best of Redditor Updates. So the original post comes from March 10, 2022. Cliche title, I know, but my friend group is split and I'm being called the asshole, so here I am. I, 43 male, have been suing a relationship with my friend's nanny. He's in finance and she's a doctor, so they needed an extra pair of hands to look after their 6-month-old. About 2 months ago, they found Ella, 29 years old, who they were happy with, and she's been a great help, so I was told. Fast forward to a month ago, I'm over at their place to meet the baby, and I meet Ella for the first time. I thought she was beautiful from the second I laid eyes on her. She's smart and very outgoing. I won't lie, I probably looked like an idiot, but I couldn't take my eyes off her. Ella and I exchanged numbers with the understanding it would be good to have them in the event of an emergency. That both parents aren't available, so I'm the next best thing in an emergency. Anyway, we'd been texting back and forth for a couple of weeks, and I thought, fuck it, and I asked her out for a drink. She said yes. Apparently, Ella told my friend and his wife that she was going on a date with me, and now they're pissed, saying I'll screw up their relationship with her and other stuff. I reminded them that Ella's an adult and she's interested in me too, but they told me I need to cancel the date and not go after the nanny because they need her focused on her job and I'm a distraction. I refused again, and now our friend group is involved and divided. Some agree with me. We're both adults so we can decide for ourselves. Others agree with my friends that I'm an asshole and it's inappropriate. So, am I the asshole?
I think it's a little bit weird. I personally wouldn't do that. I would be a little embarrassed to do that, but they are two adults, two consenting adults who can make whatever decisions they want. I don't think the friend has a say over what distractions, quote unquote, distractions that she has in her life. Like, you don't own her life. You don't own like anything, like the stuff that she does outside of working and babysitting your kids.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was a weird comment. I don't know. What do you think? Am I on the wrong side here?
I don't know what to think either.
Okay.
So we're gonna dive a little bit more into it.
Okay.
One thing I'd like to point out was, did you notice the age gap?
No, I didn't.
She's 29. He's 43.
Oh, okay. 14 years.
Yeah. So that's big.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that kind of caught mine, where I'm like, I don't know. Is it because it's like she's babysitting his kid and they don't want to mess up that situation, like don't shit where you eat type of thing?
But he's not there. She's not. He doesn't live with them.
No, but he's like part of their friend group. She's like dating her employer's like best friend. So it's kind of like a don't shit where you eat thing.
I don't think so.
But at the same time, like they're both adults.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So top comment on the original post: you're the asshole on two fronts. One, this is your close friend's employee. The power dynamic is weird. What happens when it's raise time? What about when you both bitch about work? Your friend said no, don't do it. Number two, the age gap is too much. I like to use the 20% as a rule of thumb. You're more than 20% older than her. Another popular one is half your age plus 7. She's still too young for you. Look for partners at the same life stage as you.
20%.
I don't know what that means.
Are we 20%?
I think we're only 5. I think that works.
Yeah, but when I was 18. So wait, would it be your age times 20%? You were 23 times 20%. What am I doing here?
I don't know.
18. No, 23 times 0.2. 4.6 years.
Really?
Yeah. We didn't make it.
Oh no. We're making it now though.
Yeah.
Okay. So OP responds and says, she is not bothered by my age, and I am not stupid enough to pass up the opportunity to spend an evening with a gorgeous 20-something. I don't see why they get to make the decision for either of us.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know about this one. This one's a little bit weird. Is there more?
So another person commented, you're the asshole. Initially, I was sort of on the edge, and then you posted this. Quote, I've dated all ages. Approximately, of course. I just enjoy the company of younger women. They're more adventurous and fun to spend time with. I'm not looking for anything particularly long time, just to enjoy some time with an attractive, younger woman until things reach their natural conclusion. Call me all the names you want about being middle-aged and grouchy. What I hear from people when they talk about younger women being more adventurous is younger women have fewer boundaries. will do more stuff in bed and put up with more crap. Ugh. And while I understand what I suspect is a desire for anal sex and or a partner who doesn't have responsibilities that limit her free time or make her tired on weekends or evening, or experience that makes her impatient with your shit, I don't respect it very much. I especially don't respect it when you just do it for fun. Your fun involves your friend's childcare. I have children, and I've had nannies, and the level of protectiveness I feel about the people who protect my kids, I was off the charts. Because it's not just about my employee, it's about my children and my career. You are not offering anything to this woman that she couldn't get from someone else less connected to her employers. But you are bringing potential drama and heartbreak into the life of someone your friends seriously depend on. Furthermore, the world is full of young, hot women who do not nanny for your friends, who you could look at instead, as indeed you're already planning to look at them eventually. If your connection to the nanny was emotionally important to you, I would tell you to go ahead. But since you say you see her as a good time who you will never move on from, I think you should skip right over dating her and move on now. Messing with a friend's childcare for a disposable fling is not cool.
Okay, I fully agree with that. And that changes things. I thought like maybe like, I don't know. If he didn't want to just have fun, maybe go for it. But then I was just thinking as you were reading that, like what if, I don't know, he ends things really cruelly, like he, I don't know, ghosts her or whatever. How is that going to affect her watching the kids? Like, I don't know, will she be spiteful and just kind of like not care?
Exactly.
Not put that much attention anymore?
Outside of just quitting, like could something else happen?
Yeah.
You know, that it triggers or anything.
I didn't think of that before. It is like a more serious issue because there's kids involved.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. It's not just like the family chef. Like, I don't know. It's like a nanny who watches.
I think regardless, it's like they said, if you're just looking for a fling hookup, then you're kind of out of place.
Yeah.
If it's something where it's like, this could be the love of my life, then it's okay.
I agree.
Shoot your shot. But when you're just thinking of it, a quick pound it and dip it, then maybe it's not the best.
Yuck.
There's another comment that says, worst case, this ruined your relationship with your friends who you were the godfather to their child. But best case, you get some young girl half your age to hook up with.
Sorry, I think I missed that part. He's a godfather?
Yeah, so he does make a comment. He's the godfather to the child.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay. Interesting. It's weird then. I think that's really weird now.
Okay, here's another comment. It's posted by Jake, you a-hole. You're the asshole. I'm the father mentioned in the post, and I can't believe you have the stones to post this.
Huh?
He sent me the post to gloat. I guess at some point it was going his way. Most of what he said is true. My wife and I had a baby 6 months ago and hired a nanny. He is not my baby's godfather. Oh. We are not friends, and he did not ask Ella for her number. He took it from the baby book my wife put together in case of emergencies.
Oh!
The only reason he was at my house is because my wife feels sorry for him and invites him over for dinner sometimes. For what it's worth, Ella is neither 29 nor interested. She was being polite because you told her we were best friends and she wanted to make a good impression. I've told her to block his number in every single social media I know he has and apologized profusely because I don't want her to quit. Jake, because I can do a piss poor job of picking an alternative name too, you are the asshole. If you come near my family again, I will lay all your shit out for the world to see.
Oh my god. This guy's a fucking creep. He was already a creep with that other post, which we didn't even talk about.
I missed that when I was originally reading this.
Oh my god, that's the biggest twist.
Whoa.
We don't like Jake. Jake, you're cut off. This is someone who deserves to have his shit aired out.
Yeah, he's saying he's the godfather and stuff. What?
What a weirdo.
So, like, how old is she? Because you know what I was thinking? I'm like, 29 is pretty old to just be a babysitter still, right?
Oh my god, I'm creeped out.
Someone comments, how old is she? I've got to know now. And he replies and says, 24. Barely.
Freaking yuck. Ew.
He said it wasn't even until he got sent the post that he knew he was even in contact with her.
Oh my god. That poor girl. It's always hard. Oh my God. To be like hit on by weird, creepy men, and you just have to be polite because you don't know what the heck they're going to do.
Yeah. So there's an update that comes in March 12th, 2022 from Jake. A few people asked for an update. I did start writing one before the post he wrote was deleted. I don't know why, and I don't care. I saw screenshots of the messages from Jake, and to say I was disgusted was a massive understatement. He bragged about wealth I'm clearly certain he doesn't have, how close we all are, and how he introduced me to my wife. We were married before we even met him. He also hinted at having influence over me because he's like an older brother to me, and suggested to Ella that he could convince me to give her special privileges and a raise. I assured Ella none of it was true and that we were very happy with her work. I also called Jake myself to rip him a new one. He insisted Ella was interested, that she'd lied to her age to him, and that they'd been flirting for weeks. I told him I'd read the messages and that Ella told me the truth. He got quiet and said he hadn't done anything wrong and that he had to go suddenly. He's been blocked everywhere, and I'm also paying Ella to change her number to make doubly sure that he can't get through to her. Not the most exciting. I imagine some of you thought he'd turn up at my door again and something like this in the movies. I'm signing out of this account. I was planning on deleting it, which I now found the request for an update, so here you go. I'm glad you enjoyed my life turning into a walking nightmare for a day. Also, fuck you, Jake.
Fuck you, Jake. Truly.
Fuck you, Jake. What a creep.
Oh
like,
my
what,
God.
You just posted all of that for, like, validation? When,
Literally.
like, none of it was true. Her age was wrong. You're not the godfather. She didn't give you the number. You stole the number.
You're not close.
Haven't been flirting with her.
Oh my God. What a psychopath.
What the fuck? And then he sent it to Jake. Or no, Jake, the OP, sent it to the father.
No.
What? Bro, aren't you embarrassed for yourself?
Oh my God. People have no shame.
Oh my God. That's like delusions or something.
Oh, there's a common theme in these episodes, like weird, creepy men and food. My next one is food.
Reddit theme.
Yeah. My next one's food.
Food. Teresa loves some food.
Am I the asshole for not letting a pregnant woman have any of my birthday cake? My birthday was yesterday, and my husband invited his best friend, Matt, and his best friend's pregnant girlfriend, Jane, out for a barbecue. They live 2 houses down from us. It was only us, our 3 children, and them here, and their 3 kids. I spent about $90 on hamburgers and hot dogs. Matt also showed up with 2 pounds of hamburgers. While the guys cook, I went swimming with all of the kids in our pond. Jane sat near the guys on her phone. Around 5:30-ish, the guys called the kids up for food. Me and my middle child, 9, weren't hungry yet, so we kept swimming. We went a good 40+ extra minutes in the pond on our tubes. I wasn't paying any attention to anything that was going on near the grill. Around 6:15-ish, it was when my husband said that they were going to make us to a run for beer. So I tell my son that we should probably go eat now. My husband and Matt are gone by the time we get up to the grill, and so is Jane. Well, we get up to the grill and all the food is gone. Literally everything. I call my husband and ask him where all the food is, and he said that it should be on the grill. I tell him that everything is gone. There was a long pause before he goes, Jane asked if she could take some for leftovers, but I didn't think she would have taken all of it. He then tells me that there were at least 8 burgers and 10 hot dogs left, as well as a macaroni salad when he left for the store 10 minutes prior. I tell him to call Matt and see where the fuck all the food is. He does. He then calls me back and says that Matt claims Jane only took a few, and that they had already been eaten. But my oldest son, 13, straight up tells me he saw Jane walk out of our property carrying the entire dish, one of those extra large tinfoil barbecue dishes. Anyways, I'm pissed at this point. Me and my son hadn't eaten anything. My husband is also pissed, but he just grabbed me and my son something from the store instead of making a huge fuss. I don't really blame him. Him and Matt work together, so it is what it is. But anyways, much to my surprise, Jane and her kids come back over 45 minutes later and ask if they can have some of my cake. I tell Jane that her kids can, but she can't. She asks why, and I said, I'm pretty sure you've eaten plenty considering you took off with my entire barbecue dinner before me and my son could eat anything. She tried arguing that my husband told her she could have it, that half of it was hers, because they brought 2 pounds of hamburger meat, and that she didn't realize me and my kid hadn't eaten. She was beside the grill the entire time. I just shrugged my shoulders and walked away. She tells her kids to, let's go, and they leave without cake. Now I'm feeling like I may be the asshole. No one has said anything, but I know there's tension. Am I the asshole? No! No, don't, no.
Yeah?
No.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know. Everyone sucks here?
No. I don't agree.
I don't understand how they left and then came back. And didn't he go on a beer run with the other guy? Why did he need to, like, call? I'm so confused.
I think he went on a beer run by himself. Yeah, he was going to make a store beer run. So
then where did the other people go? They went home?
I think they went home. Like, they brought the food home.
And then they came back?
They came back for freaking cake.
Do they live next door?
Yeah.
They live next door? They're neighbors?
They live 2 houses down from us, yes.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense. Like, why would you take all that food? Like, you're kind of an asshole.
Aren't you embarrassed? Please.
Yeah. I would be embarrassed too.
I'm embarrassed to take it from my mom. Like, every time we go to my mom, she's like, take everything, please. I want to feed you. And I'm like, I don't want to take everything. I want you guys to have your fair share too. Like,
oh, I'm not embarrassed about that. I just don't want to eat all of the desserts. She wants to send us home with desserts all the time.
No, but the food that she makes.
Give me the penne alla vodka? Give it to me. Oh, give it all to me.
No, but I'm like, you made it. Like, you guys, I don't want to take everything from you. Like, I wouldn't even do that for my own mom.
Well, yeah, I mean, not all of it.
That's what I mean, though. She took all of it.
That's weird.
All of it. 8 hamburgers, 10 hot dogs, and a macaroni salad. She took all of it.
That's fucked up.
Come on.
Bro, I'm hungry.
Like, come on. And you're telling me she didn't know that the mom and the kid were in the pool the whole time? Or the pond?
Yeah. I'd never invite them back over.
No.
How do they have a pond, but they only live 2 houses down? I feel like anybody who has a pond, like, acreage between you. Maybe they live 2 houses down on a back road. I want a pond.
Okay.
Yeah, no, not the asshole.
No, not even close, bro. You scared me.
At least you said, like, your kids can still have the cake, but fuck you, bitch.
Yeah. Top comment. Not the asshole. If the party is still going on, there aren't leftovers yet. It's just food. Why would she leave then come back? That's just weird.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. It's not leftovers. It's just food, motherfucker.
Yeah. These food ones, man.
Get Teresa riled up. She's hungry now. What are we getting for lunch?
We always talk about what we're getting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Next.
On to me. This one's going from Best of Writer Updates. My fiancé has some huge requests in order for me to regain his trust. Is his request too far? So this original post was June 2023. My fiancé and I have been together for 6 years now, and during the 3rd year of our relationship, I cheated on him with a close family friend. I had started to take my fiancé for granted, and it became easy to cheat because I just didn't value the relationship. He broke up with me, and we were split up for months, and the times I was single, I realized how great he was. I begged for him back, and he took me back, but I had to promise to never speak to the guy again. I am happy to say that I never cheated since then and haven't been tempted at all. I understand how great of a partner I have. That being said, the guy I cheated on with was a close family friend, and I recently rekindled our friendship behind my fiance's back. Nothing romantic. You ever meet someone who is a terrible partner but just a great friend? Well, that's him. I hated the fact that I let a stupid mishap ruin our friendship. My fiancé found out and was angry. I apologized and we talked, and he needed space. He sent me a text of his demands to continue the relationship, and I copied and pasted it below. Here are his texts. After doing some thinking, I can't trust you. Whether it was platonic or not, this is the second time that I know of that you violated my trust. The hardest part isn't this, but now I have to wonder how many times you have violated my trust or done something behind my back that I just don't know about. You claim that this is it, but how can I believe you? I love you and I want to work on this relationship, but it's going to require a lot from you. We are going to be postponing our wedding indefinitely. When we are first back together, it took 10 months before I felt secure in this relationship again. I have no idea how long it will take to feel secure again. Your friend will be blocked on everything and you are never to speak of him again. This includes family events. If you know he will be there, do not attend. If you didn't know and he attends, you are to ignore him. I have unrestricted access to phones, social media, emails, etc. Every password I want to know for any device you have. No hanging out with male friends alone. You are to be home by 1 if you go out with your homegirls. There will be more, but these are my demands and they aren't up for discussion. If you aren't willing to do it, then the relationship is over. Take your time to think about it. That's the end of the text. So I called him and he said he's not arguing with me about it and don't call him back until I decide what I want to do. I feel that this is extremely harsh considering the fact that I didn't cheat this time. Ever since we got back together, I never cheated on him.
I think the relationship should just be done. You already can't trust her. Like, you can't trust her, and all of those restrictions and demands, I don't think it's going to make you feel better.
Do you think his demands are too much?
I agreed with the not attending parties that the family friend is going to, not speaking to him, blocking him. I do agree with that. The open phone policy, I also agree with because, like, we have that. But I think that's for him to, like, go through her phone to search for stuff.
It's a little bit different from ours.
It's different.
We just have this open phone policy. There's no rules in place. There's no conditions of our relationship. There's no, you have to know all my passwords or I have to know all your passwords. It's just, we just openly share and communicate because it's all the same. I feel like that's healthy. Demanding it like this.
Yeah.
It's so that he can go through everything.
Yeah.
Which is already just setting up for failure.
Yeah. I don't really know about this one. Like, that's why I'm just like, I just think it should be ended. Like, she broke your trust and I don't think you could come back from that. Like, I don't know, especially that she's going behind, like, she went behind his back again and rekindled that friendship without telling him because she probably knew he would have been upset.
Yeah,
rightfully
no shit.
so.
Oh, fucking shit.
So
there's a couple top comments and OP replies to them. One comment on that OP believes the punishment is too far. I think I was wrong, but I feel the punishment doesn't fit the crime. I made a horrible mistake years ago. Being friends with someone doesn't equal cheating, even though I was wrong for going behind his back. But, like, you're being friends with the person you cheated on him with.
I don't think you need that friendship. There's so many people you can befriend, like, come on.
So OP is convinced to follow her boyfriend's rules. Okay, I'll do it. I just needed to make sure he wasn't going too far. But if this is what it takes to rebuild this trust, I'll do it. When commenters say that OP is on her way to cheat on her boyfriend again, she claims, "You don't think I'll follow his rules? Good thing I don't let people tell me what I can't do. I'm going to be laughing when this all works out. We get married and have kids."
Well, I hope. I don't know.
Update on the conversation with her boyfriend. June 2023. We had a really great conversation and he was vulnerable and said it made him feel like I didn't value him. He was crying and it really hurt me to see the pain I caused him. He told me that please let's not go forward with this unless I can promise that I won't go behind his back again because he can't go through this pain again. I told him that I promise I will never hurt him again and will always be honest and upfront with him now. We talked about the rules, and he said they will be temporary and will be adjusted when we go to couples therapy. Now it's time to put in the work to repair the relationship. I know it'll be a lot of work, but I'm prepared. Thank you to the ones who gave me constructive criticism.
Okay. Like, yeah, I mean, I'm happy for them if they can work it out. Do I think it's going to work out? Probably not, no.
So there's another update, 10 months later, April 17th, 2024. So next month, I'll be married this fall. I've been with this amazing guy, and we worked through a lot of issues together. I thought I loved him, and I think I still do, but I'm not in love with him. About 3 months ago at my job, we got a new coworker who is very handsome and extremely attractive.
Fucking hell.
I mean, I've never been so physically attracted to someone in my life. We started to deepen our friendship, but romantic feelings came. I repressed mine, but to my surprise, he confessed his feelings to me as well. I told him we gotta think about our spouses, but our feelings continued to grow. He told me that he had stopped being affectionate with his wife because he feels like he is cheating on me when he does that. He only wants to be affectionate with me. I started doing the same thing and haven't been intimate with my partner. The big thing is a lot of people will be hurt if this comes out. He can't divorce his wife right away because of finances, but he will as soon as possible. I have to call off the wedding, but I really don't want to hurt my current fiancé.
This girl is a serial cheater. I knew it. I freaking knew it.
So, when asked about her previous infidelity, OP says, I have cheated before, and I've started to realize it's because I don't understand being in love. With the guy I'm seeing, we both aren't romantic with our current partners. I don't want to be with anyone but him. Also, he's going to divorce his wife. We have a plan for when his finances get straight.
Sure. Sure, he will divorce his wife. I'm sure of it.
How is she justifying this affair? This is completely different. The first time I cheated was because I was selfish. This time, it's because I fell in love with someone else. I didn't choose this. No one picks who they love. The whole experience has taught me how complex love is, and that I've never been in love before.
No, I don't agree with that at all, because I feel like you choose to love your partner every day. That is a choice. Like, props. I think it's pretty easy to fall in love with anybody. I think. Like, I honestly think, like, if you got to know someone...
If you're open to it.
And you're open to it, like... And you, I don't know, you learn their likes or dislikes, like, who they are. I think it's actually pretty easy to fall in love. Like, but if you want a relationship to work, a marriage to work, like, you have to actively choose that person every single day.
I choose you every morning I wake up, baby.
Thanks, honey. Me too. But yeah, no, this girl, didn't she just contradict herself too? Didn't she say, like, she doesn't understand love and now she's in love?
Right.
She's giving me whiplash. I'm not understanding.
She said, whip, whip, whip. This is so hard on OP. That's not fair. I don't want any of this to happen. It breaks my heart that I'm going to have to call off the wedding, but he's a great guy, and I'm certain he will find someone else. I wish I loved him or didn't fall in love with someone else. Because life is more complicated than that. I don't want to hurt him, and I've been thinking about the best way to tell him. You guys act like this doesn't hurt me too. You guys are not being understanding or empathetic.
We don't need to, girl. You're writing on Reddit asking for people's opinions, strangers' opinions. Like, we're gonna give it to you how it is.
Give it to you straight.
Like,
when commenters tell OP she's gullible about the married guy, she keeps emphasizing, I'm going to tell my fiance, but we can't tell the other guy's wife yet. He's going to get his finances in order first. Update for April 18th, the next day. I took everyone's advice and decided to end things with my fiance. This was the hardest thing I had to do in my life. I know you guys think I'm a terrible person, but this is an unimaginable situation to find yourself in. I want everyone to know how much this hurt to do. I really wish I didn't fall in love with someone else. I wish I could make myself fall in love with my fiance, but I can't. It took me so long to accept this. I hope you guys can understand that I can't convey this enough that I care about my ex-fiancé. I know this is the best for both of us, even though it's hard right now.
I don't feel an ounce of sympathy for her.
When asked if OP told her ex-fiancé the truth, she says, I didn't lie. I told him the truth, that I fell in love with someone else. I told him I still care about him. I keep telling you all that I care about him and would never use him as a backup. He's a great guy, and there's a woman out there who will love him and be lucky to have him. There is no reason we both can't be happy. I'll agree with that. Someone else is way better for him out there.
Exactly.
When commenters tell OP that there is no way the married man is going to leave his wife for her, she says, he is going to divorce his wife. Unfortunately, divorce is extremely complicated, but he said that he will keep me updated. It's not just finances, but a lot of other legal stuff. Since I wasn't married yet, it is easy to end things. For him, it's a lot more complicated than that. When commenters continue to tell OP she's gullible, she says, no, I was very clear in our conversation today that I want to figure this out by the end of the year. That's plenty of time for him to figure out finances and legal stuff. That way, by 2025, we can just focus on each other.
Sure. Girl, believe what you want. Like, I'm over her.
Update?
She's delusional.
Got another update. July 3rd, 2024.
It's over.
I realized I've treated my fiancé horrible and received my karma. My coworker and his wife are getting a divorce because she found out he was cheating with multiple women. Plural. He's a disgusting animal. He lied to me and others pretending that we were the only one. I ended things with him. I'm glad he's been exposed. Now, regarding my ex-fiancé, I've taken the time to reflect and realize he's actually my true love.
Oh!
I hate that I hurt him. I reached out again to him, but he said he will always love me, but he's done with me.
Good.
And that was painful to hear. I just can't get over what my coworker did in destroying multiple relationships, including mine. It's painful to see and experience.
The whiplash is back. It's back. In full force. Oh my God.
And then she has the nerve to try to go back to her ex-fiancé
Oh my
again.
God. Thank God he was like, no, I deserve better than
Thank
this.
God he was like that. I just
Know
can't
your
get
worth.
I just can't get over what my coworker did in destroying multiple relationships, including mine. Bro, you ruined your own relationship. Come on.
Come on.
Come on.
Oh, you got a taste of your own medicine. You got cheated on by... no, the cheater got cheated on.
She got her karma.
Yeah. She got her karma.
Fuck yeah.
Oh my God. That was rough.
Aren't you embarrassed?
That is so embarrassing, truly.
Aren't you embarrassed for
Cheating
yourself?
is truly so embarrassing.
Literally.
I just think, I think cheaters are like weak people.
I think so.
Like the weakest.
Literally. You can't stick to anything.
Whatever.
I just realized that this is what true love is.
Sure. I'm over her.
You're over her?
Let's move on.
You want to move on?
Yeah.
Back to you then.
Am I the asshole for taking all of the clothes in my size off the rack so resellers couldn't grab everything before I looked? Last week I had time and stopped into a thrift and they were just putting out stuff from their truck. I am never so lucky to be there when that happens. The shops are always very picked over, just like Old Navy or Target clothes whenever I can go, so I was happy I might find something. I started browsing normally and was finding some good stuff for once. Then I saw a group of 3 women come in. One had a little computer for scanning books. The other had 2 iPads or something, I assumed to check resale prices. Either way, they were clearly resellers and started grabbing stuff after checking labels. I felt a sense of dread because I wouldn't be fast enough to check, so I just swooped everything off the rack and into my cart in my size. When the 2 got to me, they started staring. I said, "What?" And one said, "We'd like to be able to see what's on the rack too." I said that they could as soon as I was done. She scoffed at me and said, "That's rude. We'd like a chance to shop these clothes too." I just ignored her and started looking at things one by one, taking my time, then putting them right back on the rack. The women were getting mad and snatching things basically out of my hand. I held up a nice top, and one of them tried to grab it out of my hand, and I said, "Excuse you," and turned my back to her. They all got pissy and one stomped away to get a worker. The worker came over and asked what was going on. I said I was looking at the items from the rack, same as anyone else. They said I was hoarding everything, so they couldn't get a chance to look. The worker said that I wasn't doing anything wrong. Thank you for putting everything back when you're done. I finished what I was doing with the woman breathing down my neck and took my clothes to go try on. One of them kept following me and asked me what the fuck my problem was, why I was being such a bitch, etc. I said, sorry that you're having a bad day, but it's not really my problem. Am I the asshole? I just wanted a chance to be able to find nice clothes for once. From my point of view, I didn't do anything different than people who fill up their carts and go try on everything. Plus, I didn't even take all the good clothes to begin with.
Yeah, I don't think she did anything wrong.
I don't think so either.
I mean, we've been there. We've been into Goodwill and whatnot, and we're scanning stuff to see if we can resell it and stuff. But we were never like ripping anybody out of their hands or anything like that. Like, take your time. You get what's available to you. Like,
yeah, exactly.
You're doing something against the norm, man. Like, if you have an issue, order your shit in bulk from the supplier. Like, what?
Yeah. I think it's just an embarrassing response. It's like,
yeah.
Why, like,
just
glaring
be
at
patient.
her. Yeah, just be patient. Like, there's so many other clothes in the store. Like, she's just taking what's in her size because she actually needs them. Like, she's
not trying to make a profit off of everything.
Yeah. So
like, let her do her thing. Let her take all the clothes. Let her go into the change room, figure out what she wants to buy. And then when she's done, you'll have a nice pile that she'll be ready to put back that you can then go through.
Exactly. It'll be easier for you to go through.
Yeah, just chill out. Like, let the lady have her couple good items. Like, geez.
Yeah.
Filthy animals.
Like, no shame.
Vultures.
Yeah. Top comment.
Getting in there as fast as they can.
Yeah. Top comment. Not the asshole. I donate a lot of nice clothing. WHMB, BCBG, etc. Because I would like others who can't easily afford them to go get them. So not everyone else can swoop in and sell my clothes for their profit. Sure, they're allowed to, but I'm okay with you grabbing the stuff in your size first over resellers. Plus, they had every other size to choose from. Now, if these were other women trying to shop for themselves, that would be a little underhanded.
Even if it was another woman who weren't trying to resell it, that's still like, wait your freaking turn, man.
I think it's fine.
You got there first. You're allowed to put whatever in your cart
Exactly.
and try it on.
I'm not seeing where the issue is, actually. Like,
this chick did nothing wrong in no sentence. That's the thing too, is like, whenever like I'm giving away my old clothes, like I always want to like try and find somewhere that I can give it that will actually go to people who need clothes and not just go to like Goodwill or Value Village.
like a reseller.
Yeah, like a reseller, because all they do is they just make money off of it. They're just a corporation that makes money off of people's free donations. Like, when I'm giving away my clothes, like, I want to give it to someone who literally can't afford to go to Value Village. I want to give it to people who can't afford buy clothes so that they can have free clothes, like a shelter or something like that. That's where I want to donate my clothes to, not just Value Village for them to resell and make a profit off of my things that I want to get rid of.
Yeah, I agree. Thrifting, though, is
it's not what it used to be.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, I thought this was embarrassing because how are you gonna get mad at her for literally shopping? Like,
Yeah,
should have got there first.
early bird gets the worm, guys.
Yeah.
All right, that is all we got. That's it. I had two stories that I wasn't able to get to. I'll give you guys a little sneak peek on one of them. One of them was called, I threw my pregnant girlfriend out because she refuses to pay rent or her share of the bills. That's going to be going on Patreon episode number 11. So a little teaser, a little reason for you guys to come support us on Patreon. We appreciate you guys all so much. Everybody who has come over to Patreon, thank you guys so much. Teresa was trying to remind me that how many episodes we got on there now?
We have 10.
At the time of recording this, 10 episodes. So if you've like listened to all of them, you're like, I need more. Give me more. We're giving it to you more on Patreon. So please come over there and support us. It helps us out so much.
Yes, and we also just posted
a free bonus story, right?
Oh yeah.
What the fuck were you gonna say? Goddamn.
A poll. I couldn't remember the word poll.
Oh, yeah.
A poll for this episode. So you guys, well, our Patreon members actually chose the theme for this episode.
Yes, sometimes we do have some free Patreon content over there, like a bonus story from a recent episode, and we did this poll. Patreon members decided the theme for this episode.
Exactly. So if you want to join for free even, like we will be posting free stories and then maybe polls that you guys can help dictate or choose the next episode.
Yeah, but if you guys want to help us out and support us to the max, then you guys can sign up for those bonus episodes. And if you guys are watching on YouTube, just smashing the like button, joining as a member for early access helps us out tremendously. Hitting that subscribe button, like a little ding with the bell and the notifications. Thank you. And yeah,
We
life
appreciate
updates,
you guys. Life updates.
Teresa took out an old lady on the scooter.
Oh my God.
I ordered up some scooters from Amazon so we could go kind of enjoy the bike path and go a little bit farther than we can usually do on our bicycle. And Teresa, you want to explain it from your point of view?
No.
Okay, well, from my point of view, Teresa's taking the lead and I'm riding behind her, and we're coming up on kind of like an intersection. Like it's a light to the left.
In a bike lane.
Yeah, but the bike lane doesn't have an intersection. The bike lane is just use your smarts. There's 2 lanes, and there is a group on the right side of the bike lane pretty much stopped. Like they were just stopped, like taking a break or something.
Sorry, I'm not going to say bike lane. It was a bike path. A bike path, not on the road, okay? A bike path along Lakeshore, only
Separated.
designated for bikes and scooters.
And running.
Yes. We just found that out.
Yeah. I was always like, why are the running people on this bike path? Get out of my way. And then I saw a sign and it says, oh yeah, you're supposed to run on there too.
Yeah.
But essentially it's in Toronto, there's the whole Lakeshore. So it's a designated bike path off of a road that has 2 lanes on it that you can go back and forth. And there's these people off to the right side.
Far to the right.
Not moving. Taking a break.
Usually to the right, you're going slower, you're letting other people pass you.
Yeah. So
It's a wide, such a wide
Yep.
bike lane, okay?
2 people can bike beside each other
3
on their
even.
side.
3 even.
Sure. Not really, but 2 bikes at minimum, handlebar to handlebar on their side. So technically it's 4 bikes wide because 2 on either direction. But what will happen is the middle section will be like the passing section.
Yes. So, as I do, I like to pass people. I'm very, I want to say, self-aware. I understand the signals. I lived in the Netherlands for 6 months. I rode my bike every day. I'm very well aware of the hand signals and everything for when it comes to bikes. So I'm passing these people that are on the far right of the bike lane, and I'm not going too fast on the scooter.
You slow down a bit. The cruise control's at 25k an hour, and you saw them. So I saw that you hit the brakes a little bit. You slowed down. You're being a little bit cautious. So you're probably doing 15 to 20 kilometers per hour when you're going by.
And then out of nowhere, without even looking, this girl just takes hard left.
Hard left. The right where we were was to the left was the road with the traffic light, so a crossing section. So sometimes people would come on and off the bike path there. And this lady, from my perspective, right as Teresa's about to pass her, she just doesn't even look and just turns to the left.
Yeah. And I T-boned her.
And she clobbered her.
It was this...
But then it turned out to be an old lady.
Not super old.
65.
I would say 50.
She had gray hair. It was a head full of gray hair. It was a grandma for sure.
Well, I was just a little bit upset because it was her fault, obviously.
It was her fault.
She didn't apologize.
She didn't apologize.
She just it was so awkward. It was so silent. I was just I'm not apologizing. I didn't do anything wrong here. You're supposed to look and do your hand signal that you're turning.
And Teresa's kind of still standing. You didn't fall over.
I was totally fine.
She's on her ass.
Scooter.
Leaning up against your scooter. Her bike's on top of her legs.
Yeah.
And I'm riding behind. And the funniest thing for me is I'm just I convinced Teresa to get these scooters. She didn't want to get the scooter. She's I'm uncomfortable on these scooters. And I was just about to ask her because we had scootered the day before. And then we had scootered all the way down to a barbecue at my sister's place, which was 15 clicks or something, 10 kilometers, 15 kilometers. So she's got quite a bit of time on it now. And I was about to ask her, I'm you feeling pretty comfortable on there? You're doing a good job. You seem to have fun now. and boom, she gets into an accident. And I'm like, no, she's going to hate this. But I park my scooter and I'm trying to help the situation. So I picked the bike up from the lady. I asked her if she was
okay. I was like, oh my God, are you okay? Like, she was like, yeah, I'm fine. And that, like, didn't say anything.
Didn't apologize. The husband is there.
And he was like, babe, you're supposed to do your hand signals. And just like.
After she's on the ground. And he doesn't even try to get off his bike to help her pick up her bike. I
literally lifted up
the bike up after I got off my scooter.
It was just weird. And I was just annoyed after. I was like, I'm trying not to apologize for things that aren't my fault because I do tend to do that a lot. I'm always like, oh, I'm sorry when it's like totally not my fault. And literally in my head as this happened, I was like, no, like I would have normally, like if it, I don't know, I would have normally been like, I'm so sorry. But in my head, I'm like, no, this was not my fault. And then I was just like a little bit annoyed after. I was just like, she probably thinks it's my fault and that's making me mad.
Yeah, when it was clearly her fault.
But yeah, she was fine.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was worth telling
on the
podcast.
Yeah, well, it was. Well, before we were there, we went and visited our family. We got to see baby Andrew again.
Yeah, I love him.
He's so cute.
He's so precious. He didn't pee on me this time.
Nope. He did, what would Madison call it? Tummy time or something?
Yeah.
I was laying down on the couch and then she put him on top of me on his tummy, for like 3 minutes or something like that. And he was like taking this little nap. Oh, he was so cute.
He was adorable.
He was adorable.
Yep. What else? Oh, I just had my last day at my job. I'm starting a new job.
Jobless now.
No, I'm starting a new job.
No, we got a week. We got a week off together. A week of vacation now.
Yeah, on top of our other vacation that we just.
Yeah, we took a vacation in Italy and then we came back, and that whole rest of the week after we got back home on the Tuesday or the Monday, whatever day we got back, Tuesday. Teresa didn't have to work for the rest of the week.
Well, I took it off as vacation.
And then she worked 4 days the next week.
I worked 5.
4.5. And then after that, now she has a week off. And then she starts a new job.
And I start my new job, and I'm just very excited to leave this place. I've never had a place that, like, I've been excited to leave. Like, it's always been, like, a little bit bittersweet. Like, obviously, there's a reason I'm leaving, but now I'm like, I won't miss this place at all, actually. Like, not even a little bit. Like, I wasn't sad at all. I'm just excited to start something new.
That's good.
Yeah. So we'll see if it's better. Yep.
And I've been getting, I don't know, a little bit feeling better about cars myself. Like when I got let go from Porsche, I was kind of like, I was very over the car scene and I wanted to step away, and I was over dealerships and knowing the new product information. I was like over it. And like the last week, like I went to my old TikTok, which was Porsche with Denver, and I changed it back to Denver BMW. And I was Denver BMW for so long, and I was Porsche with Denver for like 4 months or something. I kind of missed Denver BMW, and I didn't want anybody else to take the username. So I was able, all of them were available, and I switched all my accounts back to Denver BMW. And I don't know what content I'll create in the future, but I'm just a little bit more open to it. I might go test drive some cars in my spare time for those accounts. I might go tinker with my project car and do a couple things in the shop, and maybe if everything looks good, I might do one event at the very end of the year. I don't know. Well, when I left my work and my job, I was just like, I don't want any of this, and I was really trying to separate myself. But my car vibes, they're coming back. So summertime. But yeah, I don't know.
Speaking of, who else is excited for fall? Because I am.
Who is excited for fall? Who else is excited for Christmas? Because you know what comes after fall? Christmas.
Guys, I think I have like I don't know, something is wrong with me. I need like, what's it called?
I don't know.
When you get the brain surgery, what's it called?
You're not getting a brain surgery, babe.
No, but what's it called?
A hystomectomy?
What?
No, what's that?
That's
a lobotomization?
Lobotomy. I need a lobotomy because I think something is actually wrong with me, because all year when it's not fall or Christmas, I'm just looking forward to fall and then Christmas.
Oh, okay.
Like I can't enjoy summer because summer's my least favorite. Why can't I think of words? Season. Summer is my least favorite season.
Summer is my favorite season. The only thing that I love about fall is pumpkin spice lattes. Yeah. Pumpkin themed stuff I love.
Yes, I love. Oh,
I get the pumpkin spice latte, pumpkin spice coffee for myself, and then the one brand, I think Silk, makes like pumpkin spice flavoring for your coffee. I love it, and I'm out. I'm remembering like once it's like near the end of October, like I'm buying like 30 of them. I'm stacking the whole bottom of the fridge with the pumpkin creamers.
Yeah, they usually come out like mid-August.
Frig yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, it's like 2 weeks away.
It's almost
from when we're
August.
filming.
It's almost August.
Oh my god. Guys, if you think I'm a weirdo, that's fine. Get in line. But if you agree with me, let me know, please, because I can't be the only one that's excited for fall and Christmas. Like, it's the best time of year.
Yeah. And what TV shows are everybody watching? Like, I just finished The Boys, and now I'm on Snowpiercer. And we're also still watching House of Dragon, newest season.
Yes.
We watch that every Sunday. Really good. Teresa and I, we always have shows that we watch by ourselves, and we have shows that we watch together. Like, we were watching the originals together.
Yeah.
Finished season 2. Bored. And then now we're on Survivor again. We're on we've had some Survivor fans. We're on season 44 right now. Who's your favorite?
Carolyn.
Yeah, I think Carolyn.
Love her.
Carolyn and Carson. I like Carson. Engineer.
Yeah. Carolyn, I hope she wins. Don't spoil it for us.
There's like 5 engineers this season on the show. It's funny.
Yeah. But yeah, we're back on our Survivor.
We're going to be done that season in like 2 days.
Yeah.
We might finish it tonight. There's like 5 more.
We have a week off
I don't
now.
know. What are we going to do? We're going to finish all the Survivors.
Yeah.
We're going to cut out show. I am Big Brother US. We're on top of now too. We watch a lot of TV.
We watch a lot of reality TV. I just started Love Island, the US version. I know I'm behind, but I like to binge it. And I know it's on every night. But I'm also reading a book. Oh my god, this book is so good.
She wants me to listen to it. Just after she convinced me to get the Audible book for ACOTAR, number 4.
For ACOTAR, yeah. ACOTAR,
number 4, ACOTAR, the 4th book. We finished half of it in Italy, and then she's abandoned me, and she's gone on to read this book. And she's like, now you need to get it. It's like Aragon, but better.
It's about dragons. It's called The Fourth Wing. And it's like a spicy fantasy. It hasn't gotten too spicy yet, but it's also about dragons. And I know Denver likes dragons.
I like Aragon. Anybody else like Aragon? Let me know.
So, yeah. This book has been pretty good. I was trying to find a similar one to ACOTAR because I loved ACOTAR. And my friend recommended Fourth Wing. And so far, it's pretty good. I won't say it's as good as ACOTAR yet, but I'm hooked. Like, every night I would rather read than watch TV. And that's not usually the case. Yeah.
I've been watching TV mostly, but the other night I played a little bit of Call of Duty Zombies, Black Ops 3. I was trying to play that a little bit. Yeah. I've been I don't know. I have a PlayStation 4. So I feel like when I play Warzone, it just doesn't keep up with all the PlayStation 5s and the PC gamers out there. I've been trying not to buy a PlayStation 5 because I know that I have addiction problems. If I get a PlayStation 5, I'll just play Call of Duty and Warzone all the time. So I've been holding on to my PlayStation 4 and trying not to buy the PlayStation 5 so that I don't keep playing it and then I do other stuff because I don't want to live my life through video games, even though I love Call of Duty and video games.
Denver doesn't have balance.
No, I could spend 16 hours straight playing Call of Duty Zombies. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
or
you need
Warzone or something.
You have to have these restrictions, otherwise, you don't know boundaries.
Exactly. I don't get I don't get mediating, normal, regulatory, scheduling boundaries. I need a whole block out boundaries.
Yeah.
I can't walk down the chip aisle. Can't buy the bag of chips if I want to eat in moderation. It's called do it or don't do it. I live my life full tilt. Yeah. Full tilt or no tilt. Full throttle or we're full brakes. I don't know. We don't coast around here.
Okay.
All right. We've rambled on for enough.
Too much, I fear.
Some people like it. The people that don't like it, I'm sure they checked out and they're already. They're like, oh, the stories are over. All right, peace out. And then the people that love us, this is what they come for. So you're welcome, guys.
All right. Well, thank you all for listening. If you made it this far, thank you so much.
Yes.
Truly, we appreciate you so much. And
we'll see you on Patreon for episode 11 on Patreon.
Yep. Otherwise, we'll see you next week.
On Tuesday.
Bye.
But not see you next Tuesday.
No.
Bye.